Hello, everyone, and welcome again to another Teacher Joseph podcast. Well, today we're going to talk about bedding. Now, there's a couple of reasons why we're talking about bedding today. The first reason is because, of course, it's very cold and everyone buys warmer bedding in the winter. In case you're wondering what bedding is, it's simply the stuff that you put on your bed. The sheets, the blankets, the duvet. So that's the topic for today. And the second reason we're talking about bedding today is because something which has gone viral, which means it's very popular in our media today, is a story about a British woman who moved to America. Now, it's very interesting because on her first day, she went to put her son to bed and remembered that she had no bedding. So they just bought a new house, they moved in and realized that they had nothing. So she thought, oh, well, this is America. I'll just go down to the local supermarket and I'll buy what I need. But when she got there, she soon discovered that the way British people describe bedding and the way Americans describe it are completely different. So she was really confused and she really didn't know what she was doing. So we're going to talk about the differences between American-style bedding and British-style bedding. Of course, it's the same, but the words are different. For those of you who think American English and British English is all the same, you couldn't be more mistaken. And it's not until you go on holiday or you go to live there that you discover that there's all these differences, okay? So that's what we're talking about today. So this woman, she went to buy a duvet. Now, the duvet, that's the large white thing that you normally lie under. Okay, so it used to be sheets and a blanket, but now most people here use a duvet. It's a large white flat object, like a big fluffy blanket. You put a cover on it and you lie under it. It's a soft, flat bag filled with feathers or some kind of synthetic alternative, and is protected with a removable cover, which we call the duvet cover. Now, that all seems quite straightforward, doesn't it? So that's the first thing I want to tell you about, the duvet, which when you look at it, looks like the word duvets, okay? But actually it's duvet. Now, when she went to buy a duvet in America, she came across something called a comforter. And she was thinking, oh, what? A comforter? What's a comforter? Because we don't have those here in the UK. And it's like a thick, quilted, fluffy blanket, which is kind of like a duvet, but isn't. Okay. By the way, speaking of duvets, here in the UK, duvets, the kind of advertising technique that they use is they always call them Siberian duvets. And that's because here, when we think of Siberia, we think it's cold. So therefore, they use this marketing technique to tell us, oh, this is a Siberian duvet, meaning that it's going to be very warm. And it kind of works. It's just one of those words that we associate with the cold. Another one is Siberian feather duvet. Now, I don't know what birds the feathers come from, but because it has the word Siberia, people think, oh, that'll be warm because Siberia is a cold place. So it's a major kind of marketing technique. So anyway, in America, in American English, they have this thing called a comforter. Now, a comforter in British English is what you give a baby. You know those little things that you put in their mouth that they can suck on to keep them quiet? They're called soothers or comforters. So this lady went to buy bedding in this American shop and they said, "Do you want a comforter?" And she's looking at them saying, "Ah, what?" And she saw them on the shelf and she said, "I've no idea what this is." I had no idea bedding was so different in America because they also have something called, let me see now, a pillow top. Yeah. And she was saying the same thing. What's a pillow top? Because, of course, here in Britain, we have pillowcases, which is what you put your pillow into. But a pillow top is an additional layer of padding which is sewn into the top of a mattress to provide extra cushioning. And I think in British English, we call that mattress toppers, and we sit them on top of the mattress. They're not sewn in. Okay. And the other thing, which they have in American English, is a bedspread, which is a decorative cover for a bed that often covers the entire bed and touches the floor. Now, we had those, I think, in the 70s and the 80s, and we called them candle wicks. Okay, but the new name is bedspread. Now, of course, there are people here who watch enough American media maybe to pick up on some of the different names. So bedspread I had heard of, but it's not a word I use. And we spoke a few weeks ago about a throw, like throw blankets, which is a smaller blanket often decorated, used for extra warmth, and it just looks nice. I've got a throw on my sofa. So we've spoken about those before. So she went to the supermarket and they're saying pillow top, comforter. And the weirdest one that I had is the word sham. So they asked her, do you want a sham? And she's saying, a what? She said, I didn't know there were so many bits to a bed. All I wanted was a duvet cover, and some pillows. But a sham in British English is a fake marriage. Okay, so if you've ever walked past a couple of people in the street, and maybe she's been perhaps from somewhere in Asia, and he's been British, and the word visa appears above your head, and you think, oh yeah, that's a bit of a sham that, maybe people who've married only because they have some agreement for immigration, something like this. We would refer to that as a sham. A sham. Anything which is artificial to try to fool people, we would call it a sham, But in this bedding shop, they started saying, oh, would you like a sham? And apparently in American English, I didn't know this, a sham is a decorative pillow cover. It's different from a regular pillowcase with its purpose and design. So a regular pillowcase is meant for the pillows used for sleeping, but a sham isn't. A sham is meant to be decorative. Well, Americans love to look the best. I don't know if you've ever watched an American drama, but they always have beautiful things, don't they? I've never seen an American drama with poor people, Well, maybe the Roseanne show, perhaps, but they're always very luxurious, aren't they? So a sham, apparently, in American English, is a type of decorative pillow cover. Whereas, as I explained, a sham here is something which you would know doesn't look right. It's some kind of marriage which may be artificial in nature to achieve a particular purpose, either for immigration or to please the family or a particular community, for example. You might be associating it with the word scam. A scam is an operation of a dishonest nature. So it's kind of similar to a sham, but a scam is when someone tries to fool you into doing something. Not about marriage, but maybe buying a product, trying to steal your money, trying to fool you so you hand your money over. That's a scam. So apparently these shams in American English, which are used for pillows, they're decorative. The fabric of a sham is heavier because you're not actually using it to sleep upon as a pillowcase. And they have a slit at the back, like a little envelope, which is called a closure, which has decorative edging, which they call ruffles. Well, for me, that would be a cushion, a cushion that sits on top of your bed. So yeah, there's some real differences there between American and British English. So let's just quickly go over these again, okay? So you've got in Britain the mattress. You know what that is. It's the same in American English, the large pads on which you sleep upon. You have the divan, which is a type of bed base, which is a wooden frame, which the mattress sits on. And in American English, that's called, I think it's a box spring, they call it. Yeah, different, isn't it? Okay, and then you have, what's next on this list? You have your duvet. Yeah, that's the same, I think, in American and British English. Then we have a blanket, okay? So if I wanted an extra cover during the night, if it's cold, then I would choose a blanket. But in American English, this is a comforter, which looks like another kind of duvet. And then in British English, of course, you have the sheet. Be careful how you say that. Okay. Yeah, double E. Sheet. Okay. And then you have the fitted sheet, which actually goes over the mattress or the mattress topper, whatever one you're actually sitting on, or more accurately, lying on. Okay, so I would call that a mattress topper, and in American English, that seems to be something else completely. The other thing is the valance sheet. You know that decorative sheet that goes around the base of the bed and you put your mattress on top of it? I call that the valance sheet or the valance simply. But in American English, that's called the bed skirt. That interesting, isn't it? The bed skirt. Yeah, so very different, very different. Those are the main differences, and I think that's probably enough for today. I'm just looking again through my list of words here. Yeah, that mattress topper is actually called the pillow top in American English, which is very strange because it's not a pillow. It says here an additional layer of padding sewn on top of a mattress to provide extra cushioning. Sewn on top of a mattress? Well, that sounds a bit strange, isn't it? Mattress toppers are removable. You just sit them on. So you see the differences. So for those of you who think that American English and British English is the same after 10 minutes, maybe before, being in one country or the other, you would soon notice that it's completely different. And that's why I'm telling you again, when you're learning, you really need to focus in on one area, because if you don't, you'll be as confused as I am. I mean, I didn't know what a comforter is, and this woman that's clearly British living in America, she'd no idea either. So there we are. Yeah, so very different, very different. So for those of you who think we are just talking the same language, we don't. So very important that you focus down on exactly which part of the world you want to be in and make that your starting point for learning. And then you can be like me. You can learn about what Americans call bedding, for example. Very strange. There we are. Okay, that's it from me today. Have a lovely day. I'm going to watch some Christmas movies. See you. Bye.